Chosen one, pause, and do not rush past this moment, because what I want to reveal today will change the way you see yourself. You are becoming someone far greater than the image your past once forced you to believe. Heaven preserved these words until your eyes were clear enough to see, your ears quiet enough to hear, and your heart mature enough to stop rejecting your true worth. This is not merely an encouraging message meant to make you feel better for a few minutes. It is a sacred mirror being placed before you so that you may recognize the person gradually taking shape behind all those weary months and years. I want to show you who you are becoming, because even you have not yet fully recognized the strength, dignity, and light that have quietly grown within you. When the veil is lifted, tears may fall from your eyes, not because of sorrow, but because you will suddenly understand that your future self is entirely different from the person who once lived in fear. For a long time, you became accustomed to seeing yourself through the lens of what had happened to you. You remember the decisions that did not turn out well, the times you placed your trust in the wrong people, the opportunities you missed, and the words that wounded your heart. Whenever you look back, you often notice the scar before recognizing that you have healed. Remember the failure before seeing the lesson, and think about those who rejected you before remembering that I never turned away. This was the first version of yourself with whom you lived for far too long. Someone who always felt the need to prove their worth, who often entered rooms feeling small, who feared speaking because of the possibility of being misunderstood, and who sometimes accepted less than what was right merely to avoid feeling abandoned. That version does not deserve your hatred, because it did everything it could to protect you during seasons when you did not yet know how to support yourself. But it is no longer spacious enough to contain the future. I am opening. Behind that familiar image, another person is awakening. This is the person heaven continued to see even during your weakest days. This person carries a steadiness that does not need to be displayed, enters places with an atmosphere of clarity, and speaks not to overpower others, but to provide direction. Your authority is not found in the volume of your voice or in your ability to control people. It is found in the peace that prevents chaos from pulling you away from your position. When you appear, weary people may feel strengthened. When you share what you have learned, those who are confused may find direction. When you pray, hope may awaken again in places that seemed to have grown cold. I am not saying that you will become perfect or never feel afraid again. I am saying that fear will no longer sit as king upon the throne of your decisions. This new person possesses eyes that can see beyond appearances and recognize what is true, ears sensitive enough to distinguish guidance from noise, and a heart refined enough to remain kind without being naive. You will know how to love without abandoning yourself, how to forgive without returning to cycles that once exhausted you, and how to help others without allowing them to take advantage of your kindness. Your presence will carry weight, because your words and your life will no longer move in opposite directions. You will not need to tell everyone about every trial you survived. The way you remain calm under pressure will tell that story for you. Nor will you need to chase recognition, because when you understand that heaven sees you, temporary applause will no longer determine whether you feel joyful or discouraged, strong or weak, willing to move forward or ready to stop. The reason your journey contained so many storms was not because you had been sentenced to suffer. but because you had looked at yourself for too long through a distorted mirror. That mirror was formed from the rejection of others, from the times you were compared, from memories that convinced you that you were always behind, and from the fear that revealing your true self would cause you to be hurt again. It showed you only fragmented pieces, and persuaded you that those fragments were the entirety of who you were. It magnified your shortcomings, concealed your progress, and caused one old mistake to appear like a permanent sentence. Every time you prepared to rise, that mirror reminded you of the times you had fallen. Whenever an opportunity appeared, it whispered that you were not good enough. Whenever someone valued you, it caused you to question their intentions, because you were not accustomed to being treated sincerely. But today, I am removing that cracked mirror from your hands. I do not want you to continue using pain as the measure of your worth, rejection as proof that you are unlovable, or another person's speed as evidence that you have fallen behind. In heaven's mirror, you are not an abandoned project, but a work being completed with patience. You are not too broken to be restored. You are being rebuilt upon a deeper foundation. You are not weak because you once cried. Those days made your heart tender without making you easy to defeat. Nor are you late, because your timing is not measured by another person's schedule. I am positioning you correctly, connecting lessons, abilities, and experiences in preparation for a role the former version of you could not yet carry. Look again at the things that once made you feel ashamed. Mistakes taught you discernment. Betrayal taught you how to establish boundaries. Closed doors forced you to discover abilities you did not know you possessed. Seasons of solitude helped you hear what noise had previously concealed. Even the times when you had to begin again made you adaptable, humble, and less afraid of building through small steps. I waste no part of your story. What others used to make you ashamed, I can transform into a place from which you offer hope. What once caused you to believe that you had been rejected will become evidence that you were moved from a space too narrow for you into a wider place of life. Therefore, stop behaving like someone who still needs permission to shine. Humility does not mean denying the gift placed within you, and gentleness does not mean allowing others to cross your boundaries repeatedly. You can walk with confidence without becoming arrogant, speak the truth clearly without becoming cruel, and choose yourself without carrying guilt. The person you are becoming will no longer chase people who only love the version of you they can control. You will recognize that those who truly belong in your new journey will not fear your growth, mock your calling, or require you to diminish yourself so that they can feel secure. The complete picture has not yet been revealed, but today marks the beginning of the unveiling. From this moment forward, practice seeing yourself through my eyes, not as someone defeated by the past, but as someone who walked through the past and carried wisdom out of it. Not as someone continually abandoned, but as someone being set apart for preparation. Not as someone without power, but as someone learning how to use strength through love and discernment. Each day, choose as that future person would choose. Speak through peace, maintain boundaries respectfully, enter opportunities through preparation, and leave what is misaligned without resentment. You do not need to wait until everyone sees the transformation before believing that it is happening. I have seen that version of you for a long time. I saw you standing firmly in places that once made you tremble, helping others through lessons you personally endured, and entering doors you previously did not dare approach. Now it is time for you to begin seeing what I see. Clean the old mirror, release names that no longer belong to you, and stop telling your story in a way that makes you permanently powerless. You are being built, aligned, and brought closer to your true self. One day soon, when you look back, you will no longer recognize the version of yourself that lived through fear. You will smile through tears and understand that every dark season failed to extinguish your light. It only made the light within you clearer, my beloved child. I am not angry with you. I do not stand at a distance, counting every time you stumble, nor do I wait until you become perfect before gently drawing near. I am looking deeper than others can see, beyond the smile you use to conceal your exhaustion, beyond the answer, "I am fine," that you have repeated far too many times, and into the place within you that is quietly crying for help. I know there are pains you cannot explain with words, empty spaces you do not know how to name, and days when you continue fulfilling every responsibility while inwardly longing only to stop. You learned to appear strong so well that sometimes even you fail to recognize that you need support, but I recognize it. I hear the words that never left your lips, understand the sighs you tried to hide, and see the exhaustion behind the calmness you offer the world. Today, I am not coming with condemnation or spectacle. I am coming with gentle presence and a truthful word placed before you at the exact time you are ready to hear it. You have often wondered whether I was truly near. During nights, when no answer came, you asked whether I still cared about what was causing you pain. When your prayers seemed to dissolve into silence, and life continued with its cold rhythm, you feared that you had wandered too far to return. At times, you thought your wrong choices had disappointed me, that your doubts had caused me to turn my face away, or that your exhaustion made you unworthy of being heard. But now allow my words to pass through every layer of defense. I am still here. I still care, and no distance you created can be greater than the love reaching for you. You were never so far away that I could not touch you. Even when you could not feel me, I remained near. Even when you did not know how to pray, I understood what you carried. Even when you turned your back in disappointment, I never turned my back on you. I do not love you because you always make the right choices. I love you because you are my child, and that love does not change according to your performance, emotions, or the season through which you are passing. I know the times you reacted from pain, the decisions you made without enough clarity, and the things you wish you could return to and correct. Yet, I have not come to imprison you in shame. I have come to call you out of it. Genuine repentance does not mean living forever beneath the shadow of your mistakes. It means recognizing what must change and courageously choosing a new path. You cannot heal the past by continually punishing yourself. You can only honor its lessons by refusing to repeat what caused harm. Therefore, stop using your former self to condemn the person who is trying to mature today. I am not asking you to deny responsibility, but I want you to stop confusing responsibility with self-contempt. What you do from this moment truly matters. Not because I will withdraw my love if you turn away, nor because everything will immediately collapse if you cannot change at once. It matters because a small door is opening within your awareness, and gentle beginnings are easily overlooked. A turning point does not always appear with a loud sound. Sometimes it is simply the moment you realize you do not want to live another day in numbness. Sometimes it is a very small decision. Putting down your phone, sitting quietly for a few minutes, becoming honest about your emotions, asking for help, or beginning again with something you have postponed. If you return to your old rhythm, no immediate disaster may occur. People will continue calling, work will continue, and the days will pass as usual. It is precisely that ordinariness that makes drifting so difficult to recognize. The most costly losses are not always the things taken from your hands in a single moment, but the things that quietly fade over many years. It may be your ability to feel joy, your closeness with those you love, the curiosity that once caused you to explore life, or the dream you postponed for so long that you no longer dare mention it. You did not lose these things in one day. You gradually moved away from them through countless moments of telling yourself that you would begin tomorrow. I do not want you to awaken after many years and realize that you existed for a long time, but were rarely truly present. You were created to live, not merely to complete a list of responsibilities. You are permitted to experience morning light, the laughter of loved ones, peace in a quiet room, and the joy of doing something that causes your heart to expand. That is why I am stopping you, not to frighten you, but to restore your ability to pay attention to your own life. You have operated for too long as though standing outside yourself and watching someone else live in your place. You awaken, perform what must be done, meet everyone's expectations, and end the day without knowing what you truly felt. I want to bring you back into the present, where you can hear your inner voice again, recognize what is draining you, and remember what once filled you with hope. Genuine love does not remain still while watching you gradually disappear within habits that cause you pain. Love steps forward, gently touches your shoulder, and tells you that it is time to return. Not to return to a physical place, but to return to sincerity, awareness, and the person you forgot while trying to please everyone. I know you often wait until everything becomes peaceful before allowing yourself to rest, reflect, or change. You tell yourself that after completing this task, solving that problem, or caring for everyone's needs, you will make time for yourself. But as soon as one responsibility ends, another appears. As one noise becomes quiet, a new one begins. The perfect calm you are waiting for may never arrive on its own, because life will always contain things that need attention. Peace is not a reward that comes after you have controlled everything. Peace is the place where you learn to stand firmly even while matters remain unfinished. Therefore, stop delaying your return until a day without pressure. Begin today, in the middle of this busy day, through one small but sincere pause. Remain with me in this present moment. Do not immediately search for another sound to fill the silence, and do not rush back toward things that help you forget what you are feeling. You do not need to create a complicated ritual, find beautiful words, or prove anything. Simply breathe more slowly, lay down the burdens you cannot solve right now, and honestly admit that you are tired, sad, afraid, or uncertain about what to do. That honesty does not disappoint me. It opens a place where I can comfort you. I cannot heal what you continually pretend does not exist. Not because my power is limited, but because love always respects the door you are holding. 1 minute of sincere listening can change the way you move through an entire day. When a day is lived with awareness, you may make a different choice, speak a gentler word, refuse something that is draining you, or begin one small action leading toward restoration. When repeated, those choices gradually transform a week, a month, and eventually the direction of your life. Do not underestimate something small. simply because it does not create immediate results. Every lasting renewal begins with a quiet decision that you will no longer abandon yourself. I am not demanding that you change everything today. I am inviting you only to open your eyes, open your heart, and take the next step with honesty. You have given me this moment. Now allow me to show you why you were stopped. You are not at the end of the road. You are standing before a new beginning. I want to restore your sensitivity to joy, your courage to face what needs to change, and your peace to move forward without condemning yourself. I want you to know that there is still time to return to wholesome dreams, rebuild precious relationships, and live more closely connected with yourself. You do not need to become someone else in order to be loved. You only need to stop running from who you truly are. Remain a little longer in this quietness, because I have not come to take anything from you. I have come to return the parts you lost while trying to survive. I am calling you home, not through anger, but through a love that patiently waited for you to recognize that you never had to walk alone. My beloved, your waiting was not meaningless, because I needed to refine you until you became stable enough that what is coming would not overwhelm you or cause you to lose yourself. The silent seasons through which you passed were not evidence that your prayers had been forgotten. I used those periods to repair the foundation within you, teach you to stand firmly when no one encouraged you, preserve integrity before you were recognized, and continue trusting even when you could not yet see results. What is coming is not a passing emotion or a temporary opportunity. It is something that must be placed into hands trained to steward, a heart that has learned humility, and a mind no longer easily captivated by glamour. Had it come to your former self, you might have tried to preserve it through fear, used it to prove your value, or allowed the opinions of others to determine your direction. But you are different now. You understand that what is precious does not need to be protected through panic. That increase does not give you the right to place yourself above others, and that a blessing is truly beautiful only when it makes you more peaceful, generous, and responsible. I know you once wondered why you had to remain strong through so many trials. There were times when you simply wished everything would become easier. But as one difficulty ended, another appeared. You did not understand why you repeatedly had to learn how to begin again. Lift yourself back up and continue walking while others seemed to receive support more easily. But I was not training you to live forever in exhaustion. I was expanding your inner capacity so that when something greater arrived, you could receive it without sacrificing your peace. The strength I built was not a hardness that closed your heart, but the ability to remain gentle after pain, discerning after deception, and loving without losing your boundaries. I made you tender enough to feel, but steady enough not to be directed by every emotion. Therefore, stop grieving over your former self. That version completed its assignment by carrying you through difficult roads. Now, a more mature person is emerging, ready to preserve what you once could only desire. Heaven recognizes this transformation, and that is why I, Archangel Michael, have drawn near to you at this moment. Not to deliver words that create temporary curiosity, but to remind you that an important turning point is taking shape. You do not need to search for loud signs or force yourself to feel something extraordinary. True transformation often begins very quietly. A fear that once controlled you no longer possesses the same authority. A memory that once wounded you no longer causes you to lose direction. Something you once tried desperately to keep becomes easy to release. As you enter a new day, your circumstances may not yet have changed completely, but the way you face them will be different. The heaviness within you will gradually give way to a greater sense of relief. The emptiness that once drove you to seek validation from others will begin to surrender its place to a peace that requires no one's proof. What once covered your vision is being removed, not because you have become perfect, but because you are ready to see yourself through the eyes of love rather than through the rejection of your past. I want you to know that you were never invisible to me. Even when no one recognized how hard you were trying, I saw every time you had to calm yourself in order to keep moving. When you served quietly without being thanked, I recognized your sincerity. When you kept your word, even though others broke theirs, I saw integrity growing within you. When you chose not to answer, hurt with bitterness, I knew you had won a battle more important than outsiders could understand. My recognition does not depend upon the number of people applauding you, nor does it disappear because you have not yet received what you desired. What is ending is not my ability to see you. What is ending is the belief that you must accomplish a great deal before you deserve to be recognized. You were loved before any achievement, and that understanding will protect you when human recognition begins to arrive. I also want you to remember that growth is measured not only by the doors opening before you, but also by the things you have become courageous enough to release. Certain relationships no longer align with you. Certain thoughts once defined you, but have now become burdens. And certain fears once caused you to diminish yourself. Do not attempt to carry every old thing into the new season. A vessel filled with what has decayed has no room to receive something better. Allow me to help you clear the inner space, not through judgment, but through love and healing. Every time you forgive, choose peace instead of useless conflict. And believe that hope still exists in your future. You create space for something new to form. If you want to respond to this message through a simple gesture, you may press the like button as an expression that you are choosing hope instead of surrender. But remember that pressing a button cannot purchase grace or compel heaven to act for you. Grace is not a reward for an outward action. It is a gift received through a sincere heart. If you press like, let it symbolize your agreement that you will no longer live as someone imprisoned by the past. Let it remind you that you are choosing to move forward with awareness, believing that the journey you endured was not meaningless, and keeping your heart open to healthy opportunities. What opens the way for transformation is not a simple action, but your willingness to allow me to correct, guide, and help you act at the right time. This message may confirm something you have quietly sensed. But the deepest transformation still takes place when you decide to live differently. Words do not become powerful merely because they are repeated. They carry weight when accompanied by a sincere choice. If you write one word in the comments, do not write because you feel pressured, fear missing a blessing, or believe I will turn away if you remain silent. Write it as a voluntary declaration that you are ready to cooperate with the transformation taking place. You may write ready, I trust, or amen, but what matters more than the word is the attitude you carry afterward. A genuine yes must be followed by laying down old habits, leaving what drains you, and walking in wisdom, instead of merely waiting for a miracle to take responsibility in your place. When you write that affirmation, remember that you are not sending a signal in an attempt to persuade me to bless you. I knew your voice before your lips ever spoke. What you are doing is naming the decision that has formed deep within. You agree to heal, agree to mature, agree to stop returning to places that only reopen your wounds, and agree to receive something new without carrying former patterns into it. Your words join heaven's encouragement. Not because angels need to be reminded of you, but because you need to remember that you are not walking alone. I am near, supporting you through peace and leading you toward choices that bring life. A miracle sometimes comes as an unexpected door, but at other times it begins when you finally possess enough courage to say no to what has harmed you for too long. Therefore, if your heart truly agrees, write Amen, calmly and freely. Do not treat it as a formula guaranteeing that every difficulty will immediately disappear. See it as a marker, reminding you that you will no longer deny your own growth. You will not allow waiting to make you believe that you have been forgotten. Allow one closed door to make you doubt your future, or allow weariness to make you conclude that you have failed. What I am preparing is arriving according to the proper order, and you are also moving toward it with a new posture. The blessing will not crush you because I have taught you to rest, steward, maintain boundaries, and return to me what lies beyond your ability. Waiting created strength. That strength became stability. And that stability will help you preserve what is good throughout the seasons ahead. Continue walking patiently, because not every seed begins to sprout immediately after being planted. Some things need time to form deep roots and require silent seasons of growth before any outward result becomes visible. Do not compare your pace with another person's journey, because every life possesses its own rhythm, and every promise has an appointed time for revelation. What matters is not whether you arrive before or after someone else, but whether you remain yourself when you arrive. I am not only preparing a gift for you, I am preparing you so that you may enter that gift with wisdom. Keep your eyes directed forward, but do not forget to appreciate the person you have become throughout this journey. Your scars are not evidence that you failed. They are signs that you survived, learned, and matured. One day, you will look back upon these difficult roads and realize that the seasons that appeared delayed were the very seasons when I was working most deeply within you. What is coming is not only intended to change your circumstances, but also to reflect the transformation that has already occurred within your heart. Continue walking in faith, because you are no longer someone merely waiting for a miracle. You are becoming someone capable of carrying light, peace, and love to others.